You're listening to Jacob Mathew. What we're going to talk about today is a question that most people ask quite often. How do I manage my time effectively? A lot of my clients, no matter where I am, in which part of the world, have this one standard question. How do I manage my time effectively? How is it that we are able to get a better output for all the efforts that we put in for the day? We get up in the morning, come to work. We've spent a whole day at work. And when we finish our work and go back home, reflecting on how the day went, there's very little that we have achieved. However, we have been very busy. This is a standard script that I hear from my clients every time I meet them. It doesn't stop there. They go home and get to do all the work at home. And then they reflect on a whole day's work, which is both at work and at home. And they tell me quite often, there's very little that we've achieved. How could we get more effective? How could we manage our time better? This is what they ask me all the time. There's something that all of you need to understand. 24 hours a day is all that we have. You could neither stretch it to 25, neither get it to 23. And I'm sure you would all agree with me on that, wouldn't you? I'm sure you would. There's something that all of us need to understand. Anything that we do, both at work or at home, is that helping us move towards our goal, or is it getting us away from our goal? Is that helping us or hurting us? This is what you have to ask yourself. So when you come into work, for those of you who do not plan your day, they put their hands up at anything that goes past them and agrees to do that particular work. So at the end of the day, they've got a whole lot of work with them. They start a couple of them in the morning and try juggling between these tasks. At the end of the evening, they've completed none, nor have they achieved anything. And they feel so frustrated. And as humans, when frustration kicks in, that's when you start depleting your energy. I make this recommendation to my client quite often. And this is what I tell them, in fact, not quite often, all the time. The first thing is for you to understand what is it that you would like to achieve today. Please write them down. Once you have written them down, then you need to categorize them into categories A, B, C, or D. Category A are the very important ones. You will have to action them immediately. Then you've got category B, which is important ones. You've got category C, that can wait, has got no big importance. Yet they need to be completed and they can wait. Category D, they do not belong to you. There's nothing that you have to action. In fact, they are not tasks that are meant for you. They have to be delegated, or they are tasks that have to be actually performed by someone else. So give those away. Next, please put a time frame once you have got your list ready. Make sure you put a time frame beside each of those tasks so that they are not open-ended. For example, if you have got a particular task 1 under category A and you know that would take 10 minutes, put 10 minutes beside the task. And then you start doing your category A tasks first. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat up yourself by filling up your task sheet. Always remember in life, there are some things that you can control and some that you can't. So you need to give that little bandwidth in there for those tasks that you can't control and they just come into your way. So you need to write them down on your task list as well. So kindly do not fill up your task list with all tasks. Leave a little bit of buffer time in there. So if these unplanned events come in and you still have to do them, you've got the time for you to do. By midday, kindly stop all that you're doing and spend about 2 or 3 minutes to review everything that has happened so far, what you've done, what you need to do. Have a quick assessment of what they are. Then you continue to do what you have to do. Remember, every time you've completed a task, and if you have completed that earlier than what you planned for, go reward yourself. Give yourself a good pat and say to yourself, I have saved this amount of time. If you had actually planned for 10 minutes, and if you've completed your task in 5, tell yourself, you have saved 5 precious minutes for yourself. Give yourself a pat, go have a cup of tea. Come back and then commence on your next task. At the end of the evening, you will realize that you've got through most of them. You need to take at least 5 minutes after you've completed all your tasks to review and see how your day went. And you need to be honest to yourself when you do that. You need to ask yourself, what went well, what didn't go well, and what can I better for tomorrow? So I'm going to quickly recap all that we spoke. First is to create a list of things that you need to do. Second is for you to categorize them. Third is for you to put a time frame beside each of those tasks. And please don't forget, be kind to yourself. Strike out every task as you go into the completion list. Please make a review of all your tasks by midday. At the end of the evening, kindly spend 5 minutes to review everything that you've done and ask yourself what went well, what didn't go well, what can I do better for tomorrow. For all you listeners down there, if you can follow this, I can guarantee you that you would be a very fulfilled person and you would never ask this question again as to how do I manage my time